allow me to introduce to you the work of Alma Thomas. Her bright and colorful abstract paintings is what she is best known for. She worked in Washington, D.C. as an art teacher, and after retiring, really focused in on her paintings. It wasn't until she was 81 years old that she became the first African American female artist to have a solo show at the Whitney Museum. Now, solo means all on her own. There were no other artists shown during this exhibit. It was just her artwork on display. She said that she found most of her inspiration in nature and science. Here's a quote from Alma Thomas that I thought was really great. "The use of color in my paintings is of paramount importance to me. Through color, I have sought to concentrate on beauty and happiness rather than on man's inhumanity to me." Her beautiful, colorful art pieces just light up the room. I love how you can see all of her brush strokes and how they're all around the same size. She uses lots of vertical, horizontal, and even radial brush strokes. And the most interesting thing is the spacing that she puts in between each of her brush strokes. Now that you are familiar with Alma Thomas, we are going to create our own design inspired by her. So thinking back to her designs, some of her designs are very what we call radial or circular. They start in the middle and they kind of radiate out. And some are very vertical, where all of the brush strokes go this direction. Even though we have this triangle shape, notice that those brush strokes are still all going vertically. So some vertical and some are even horizontal. She doesn't really have any designs that go at a diagonal. So we're going to focus on either one of those directions, either vertical, horizontal, or going around in a radial design. I will say that this is definitely going to be the most challenging of the designs. So if you're in one of the lower grades, you might want to stick to something more basic. If you are in, let's say, 4th grade, maybe even 3rd grade, you might want to try a more advanced design. So just work to your comfort level. So what you're going to do is open up to a page in your journal, and I want you to start planning your design. So I would like you to create 3 thumbnail sketches. A thumbnail sketch is a small sketch or a small idea of your design. So 3 small thumbnail sketches. So I'm going to draw myself 3 different rectangles, and they don't have to be perfect. And then I'm going to leave myself a nice big rectangle at the bottom. Not huge, but a little bit bigger. So this is going to be our planning space. I want you to think about what colors you plan to use. So I'm going to plan a couple different designs. So I'm going to go with a very vertical design. And remember, Alma Thomas uses those like broken or dotted lines because she has a lot of white space in between. Maybe not as much as you see here on my sketch, but again, this is a sketch. We'll be using a wider brush, and so we'll get that desired Alma Thomas effect with our paintbrush more than we would with our markers. So you can see I'm using some cool colors to come up with this very vertical design, kind of making a pattern with my colors. You can decide however you want to do it. This is just how I've decided that I wanted to approach it. Kind of messed up my pattern there, but again, that's why we sketch, so I'd know to change my pattern on my final copy. Now that I've tried those colors, maybe I want to think about some different colors that I would like to try out. Maybe going with a completely different color pattern or color scheme. Let's see. Maybe I'll try warm colors this time. So now I have my second sketch, and now I'm going to come up with another idea. So now I have my 3 designs, then I can choose the one that I like the most and draw it a little bit bigger so I have a better plan of what I'm going to do next week with paint. And you can see I got a little ahead of myself there. So I already have my orange dot. That was a whoops, that's okay. If you needed to move to another page, you could, but I'm just gonna stick on this page, and I guess I'm gonna go with that design since I guess subconsciously really wanted this design. So now that I have a bigger area, I can kind of plan more of how I want it to look, think about maybe my spacing a little bit more, and maybe even the pattern I'm going to use. So now I have my designs. I am ready to paint next week. So this will make it easier, and I can see what colors I will need first. So next week I'll be coming around and pouring the paint for you as we get started. So it will be important to have your plan out of your journal and knowing what 2 colors you will be needing first to start your painting.